Hello, my name is Matthew. I'm the author of 3 amazing books, 2 of which are award winning. The first, From Fear to Faith, a Survivor Story, which is an epic saga of triumph in the face of uncertainty and ultimately how mindset can help you to achieve the seemingly impossible. And then, Stuck in an Elevator, a tale of passion and self discovery that takes place high above the Los Angeles skyline. Now, for details or synopses of both books, you can go to Amazon.com, where you can also read the reviews. But that is not what I want to talk about today. Yes, I'm an accomplished author, but when I'm not working on a book project or writing in my blog, www.mdtalford.com, I spend hours upon hours writing, recording, editing, and publishing YouTube content. The bulk of my content over the past year or so has been breaking down scripture in an effort to reveal how the Bible, including the scripture texts that were intentionally left out of it, are spiritual in nature. They are not religious, although the religious establishment has taken those texts and formulated them into the doctrine of control. But I digress. After 5 years total of working diligently on my channel and content, my videos are finally trending, which has led me to release this statement, a public service announcement titled, "Who Told You Astrology is Not of God?" Now let me begin by first expressing gratitude for those of you who share your positive comments, your thoughts, and your overall positive energy in the comment section. You guys energize me. Thank you. But there's also another cadre of individuals who I'm sure mean well that come into the comment section, and again, I'm sure they mean well, but they want to preach to myself and others within the community who also leave comments about how astrology is somehow not from God. Well, let it be known on this day that astrology and the Most High God cannot be separated. The two are not mutually exclusive, unless, of course, one believes that the sun, moon, and stars existed independent of the Most High Creator. In other words, were the sun, moon, and planets somehow already in existence before the Most High created what we call the heavens and the earth? I think not, but I'll continue. Astrology is the study of the movement and mechanisms of the sun, moon, and stars, and how their energies affect mankind. So, whether you like it or not, the stars are fixed together into certain embodiments called constellations. Whether you wish to acknowledge it or not, the planets, which are also known as wandering stars, are living and active energies that affect or rule over different aspects of human existence. And on a side note, please remember that kings or rulers appoint governors that rule over certain areas of their respective kingdoms. And those governors, though given authority over men, are under the subjection of the chiefest ruler. And in every nation on this planet, there exist sub-rulers called ministers or secretaries that rule over various different activities in that nation or realm. For example, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Commerce, Transportation, etc. Now, where do you think we got that idea from? Does the phrase, "as above, so below," come to mind here? That same hierarchical structure exists within our physical and our energy bodies. We all have energy zones within our bodies that rule over different areas of the body, including the organs and their corresponding activities. Those ruling energy zones are called chakras, but I digress. back to my points. Whether you wish to acknowledge it or not, the planets, or wandering stars, are living and active energies that affect or rule over different aspects of human nature and existence. Whether you wish to acknowledge it or not, those planets move into and out of those constellations in divinely orchestrated cycles, and as such, those planetary energies are affected by the characteristics or personality traits of those constellations. Whether you like it or not, those 12 constellations are grouped into 3 modalities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable, or adaptable as some people say, which govern the focus of their activity style. For example, cardinal energies focus on seeing the vision or big picture and starting the task. Fixed energies focus on managing the task, and mutable energies focus on completing the tasks and managing and adapting to change. Like, this isn't working, we need to shift course. All right? Now, whether you like it or not, those 12 constellations are also grouped into 4 elements: air, fire, water, and earth. And for those of you out there who like numbers, there are 12 constellations. Those constellations are subdivided into 4 elements and modalities. I just named them. 4 times 3 equals 12. There's that 12 number again, and that is neither random, accidental, nor coincidental. Now back to my points. Whether you like it or not, Earth energy is grounded, stable, and dependable. Water energy is nurturing, intuitive, and highly spiritual. Air energy is highly philosophical, and fire energy is highly assertive and passionate. Earth. You want to get something done? Ask a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo. Water. Ain't nobody gonna love or nurture you or see through you and read you like a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. Air. Ain't nobody gonna help you break a situation down and help you to understand it like a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini. And of course, fire. Ain't nobody gonna instill passion, fight for you, or spur you into action like an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Now back to the design of the God-created cosmos. Whether you like it or not, the firmament, spoken of in Genesis chapter 1, which houses the sun, moon, and stars, is a pie divided into 12 zones called houses, each of which governs certain aspects of our embodied existence. These bodies. Now let me break down what that org chart looks like. Whether you like it or not, the planets, aka wandering stars, are ruled by the will of the Most High Creator himself. So the Most High Creator sits atop the org chart. He rules the planets, okay? Stay with me. The major constellations are then ruled by the planets. The houses are ruled by the major constellations, all right? And all of those energies combine to help make us who we are. The one thing that separates us from them and makes us special is that we have free will, and with it, the ability to create tangible things from intangible thoughts, and the ability to transmute or alchemize or change things that we do not like about ourselves into things that we do. We cannot change other people, though. We can only change ourselves. People, places, and things cannot change people for better or worse. They can only encourage people through their words, actions, behaviors, and ultimately energies to change for better or worse. Ultimately, though, the choice is still yours. So finally, whether we like it or not, each one of us exited the womb, which is the physical gateway to the ethereal realm, where we came from, and entered into this realm at a date, time, and location when all of the planets, constellations, and houses were in certain positions to us and to each other. The energies of those planets, constellations, and houses, along with their associated aspects, tell the story of who we are and what we came here to do. And therefore, the date, time, and location of our arrival was predetermined before we were even conceived in our mother's wombs. This was not some random occurrence. See Jeremiah 1 and 5. In fact, I'm going to read that for you. I'll start at the 4th verse. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 5, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. That was the Most High speaking to the prophet Jeremiah. I'm going to read that again. The energies of those planets, constellations, and houses, along with their associated aspects, tell the story of who we are and what we came here to do, and therefore the date, time, and location of our arrival was predetermined before we were even conceived in our mother's wombs, and not some random occurrence. So as I get ready to wrap this up, please know that all these things that I've spoken to you today are spiritual in nature, not religious. And for some of us, we know why the Messiah told the Samaritan woman, quote, You know not what you worship. The hour is coming and is now when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeks such to worship him. That's John 4 and 23. Funny, he didn't mention religion now, did he? And for the record, worship is not what you do in church. It is not what you do in a mosque. It is not what you do in the temple or in a synagogue. We worship the Most High God by how we honor the God that exists in each of us. In other words, we worship him by how we treat and interact with each other and the environment that we live in. God loved each of us so much that he allowed us to exit the etheric realms to experience life in these bodies. We honor him by giving life to each other, and we do that by righteous operation of our life force energy, our hearts. So now ask yourself why the Messiah only rolled with his boys and didn't have many, if any, dealings with the pastors, preachers, and rabbis of his day, aka the Pharisees, aka the religious establishment. Ask yourselves why he was comfortable sitting down with so-called publicans and sinners. Now, mind you, he did not label them sinners. The church folk did. I covered this in a video I published titled, Do Opposites Really Attract? I'll leave a link in the description box below. It's on my YouTube channel. But in the meantime, I'll answer that question in short form. Again, as to the question, why do you think the Messiah sat down amongst publicans and sinners? For me, the answer is simple. It was probably because he, too, was sick and tired of religious people trying to control him and the rest of the public, the majority of which were physically conscious but spiritually unconscious. Perhaps he too was sick and tired of the church establishment telling everyone how they need to live their lives, as opposed to trying to help each individual discover their divine purpose. Perhaps he knew that this is the same religious establishment who, at the highest levels, possess the very knowledge of what I have shared with you all today, but rather than show you how to tap into that knowledge to live a life of freedom, they would rather tell you that that knowledge is evil, so as to keep you in a state of slumber. And we know that when you are asleep, you have no knowledge of what is going on around you. After all, a soul who is awakened to his or her own divine nature and purpose cannot be controlled. So finally, before you call the knowledge of how the sun, moon, and stars affect life in this realm evil, consider who created and rules over them all. Astrology is not evil. Aside from studying and understanding it, it is not something that you can practice or manipulate. It is, however, something that you can know or not know. That's simple. Now, that does not mean that there are not those who understand and understand astrology, who use the knowledge of who you are to try and take advantage of you for their own selfish gain. But understand that they can only do that when you do not have the same universal knowledge. Once you know who you are, no man can ever again control you. Unless, of course, you allow him to. With all that said, be careful not to judge someone who has the knowledge and suggest that astrology is somehow wicked. Because you are not calling astrology wicked, you are calling its creator wicked. And I probably wouldn't do that if I were you. Watch my video. You're not mad at me, you're mad at God. I'll leave a link in the description box below. This concludes my public service announcement. Again, I am author Matt D. Talford, and I will end this video like I do them all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have a comment, I want to hear it. Please leave the comments in the comment box. And if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, this isn't my normal. You can scroll through my library. What I have is a library. You can scroll through my channel and just pick any one of those videos that intrigue you, and you'll see that all I try to do is teach. All right. So again, if you like this type of content, you like my content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me and slide the notification bell up to all. And I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on astrology? Do you have any thoughts on astrology? And do you have any thoughts on whether or not it's evil? If you think it's evil, I want to know why. I want to know why you think astrology is evil. If you think it's good, I want to know from you why you think it's good. I will also leave in the description box some links to some videos that I did on astrology. Astrology is your personal instruction manual, if nothing else. Now, I won't talk about the planetary astrology, that the things that affect kingdoms. Like in one of my previous videos, I mentioned that we are in the midst of a Pluto return. And you can look at that video to see how Pluto returns signal the rise and fall of kingdoms. All right. In it, I talked about how the last time Pluto was over the United States, it was 1776 and marked the beginning of this nation. Pluto's back. You can watch that video to see what happened with the rise and fall of Rome and how that was connected to a Pluto return. Astrology is not evil. It is something that you read. All right. Again, if you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, you like being enriched, you like thought-provoking content, please hit the subscribe button. And I promise you, all of my content is not this heavy. I simply needed to address what seemed to be a growing tide of viewers who wanted to come in and preach to me about how the Most High God doesn't want me dabbling in astrology as though it were some sort of dark art or something, which it is not. It is pretty much the math of the cosmos. It's math, it's numbers, it's calculations. That's it. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. I love you guys. I tell you that in every video. I love you guys. I value you. I appreciate you. You guys energize me. I thank God for you guys every day. Were it not for you guys, I would not be sitting here doing these videos. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now go off and tell somebody else you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Of course, love is a noun. It is a state of being. But love, more importantly, is a verb. It is an action word. You show love. And if you want to receive love, you have to show love. Be the love that you want to receive. When we focus on the verb, the noun always takes care of itself. Peace, family.